Hi, I'm April,
And I'm Stephanie.
and today we're going to talk about formatting raw data tables, data processing tables, and scatterplot tables on Google Sheets.
How fun!
Woohoo! So our experimental question for this fake experiment is, how does the amount of time since Miss Taube's marriage affect how frequently students mess up her name?
Miss Larson, I have a question. Oh, I mean, Miss Taube, I have a question.
Our hypothesis is that we predict that as time since our marriage increases, the amount of name mistakes will decrease.
So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to make up some data for this topic, and then we'll format it using Google Sheets and show you how to do it.
Woohoo! After reading the question, the first thing we need to do is to identify the independent and dependent variables. So the independent variable is the number of days since her marriage, and we're going to be measuring that in terms of school days. It is important to always list your unit in the header and title of the table. And so since this is moved outside the box, what we would do is we would want to highlight all the boxes we want to change the format of, then click Format, and it is text wrapping and wrap. So now it is like that in those boxes. So our dependent variable will be the frequency of name mistakes measured in number of mistakes per day. Since we need multiple people to record data, we're going to have this one be, this is my data point. So in the last column, we always want to find the average after finding our data. So the average column will always be on the right side. So to make this look more like a table, we're going to bold our titles, and we're going to create some of these into more solid boxes. For the titles, we can probably center them into the middle of the boxes by just changing the horizontal align button.
Now I'm going to describe the quote-unquote data that we took. And I said data in quotes because this is all made up. So we measured for the first 8 days of school, so from the first day of school until today. That is what I'm going to put under the independent variable. So now that we have the independent variable, we're just going to make up data for the number of mistakes per day by each test subject. So now we want to center all of these numbers, so we'll do the same thing that Stephanie did. We'll go here, we'll click this down arrow and center them. This just makes it easier to read and it looks nicer.
Rather than calculating by hand, Google Sheets can find the average for you. So you'd need to input the formula equals parentheses, you would type sum, and then you put another parentheses, and then you need to press Control, or if you're on a Mac, press Command, and click the rows that you want it to add together. Then you put an end parentheses and another end parentheses, divide it by 3, since there are 3 data points we're taking, and then press Enter. Then this is the average of this row. And so to copy that formatting into the other rows, you would click the little blue square in the corner and just drag it down through the entire average column. And now it has found all of the averages for you.
So now we will be creating a data processing table for all the data we took. So first what we need to do is we need to convert all of this data into SI units. First I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to copy the average, because this is all we need for a data processing table is the independent variable and the average. In order to convert to SI units, first we need to figure out what units we're actually using.
April, what is the SI unit for time?
It's actually seconds. Isn't that amazing? We found out that in a day there are 86,400 seconds. So the first day would clearly have 86,400 seconds. So that means for each day we would need to multiply however many days there have been by 86,400. So for 2 days, that would be 172,800. And we would just keep going for 8 days. Instead of days, I need to put seconds. So number of seconds since marriage. We'll just say this is school seconds instead of school days. The average will be in mistakes per second. This also means we should have titled this as mistakes per day. There are 86,400 seconds in a day, so we would put that in the column for the row for the first day. And then I'll just keep multiplying this number by the number of days to fill up the leftmost column.
So now we must convert our data processing table into a scatterplot graph. So first we need to highlight every column we want included, so this is just both sets of the independent variables and the dependent variables, including the titles. From there we would click Insert, Chart, and since this isn't the right kind we want a scatter plot, we'd go to Chart Type and look down this list until we see a scatter plot. And so this is our chart right now. So as we can see in our graph, there is a general downward trend in our data. So this means our hypothesis is correct, because we predicted that as time since her marriage increases, the amount of name mistakes will decrease. And this graph visually shows that that is true. So the labels on the y and x axis are the same as these titles that we put here. That's why it is very important to include these two titles when making your graph.
Thanks for coming to Taube Academy. See you later.
Thank you.